Morning YouTube. Here we are in a BMW 318 2 litre 2007. It's been experiencing a couple of backfires, possibly rich running, a bit petrol smelly, and I actually plugged this vehicle in a couple of weeks ago just to see what was going on, and it came up with an O2 sensor before CAT, which I cleared. That O2 sensor fault hasn't reoccurred since. There's no engine light on. The car's running pretty well. Can't really find a lot of fault with it, but I've just plugged it in to the iCar Soft just to run through what's currently there, and this is what we found. Okay, iCar Soft. What have we got? No, I don't want to exit, so we're going to go F1 now. ECN. Read fault codes. Right, Valvetronic plausibility, sporadic current fluctuations. Now, the customer has mentioned to me that he believes that this part was indeed changed, and I'm wondering whether it's been changed for a cheaper unit, but we'll have a look at that, and also the O2 sensor as well. But for now, that's just about it. I'm going to keep on looking and we'll see what we can find. Okay, on closer inspection, I've also found the lambda sensor on the closed loop control is not active. So I'm going to investigate that. I think we've still got an O2 sensor issue, and I'm also going to check out the valve drive motor and the spark plugs to see what condition they're in. BMW 318 2 litre. Here we are trying to work out what its issues are. As far as the computer's concerned, we're showing an O2 sensor before CAT. I've inspected that, it's all there, it's intact, there's no broken wires, so I've got a replacement to fit there. As far as the spark plugs are concerned, I've just removed the first one, and it came out extremely oily, and if you look down there you can see a lot of oil lying around the collar where the plug would have gone in. The plug itself is, the thread is covered in oil, so are the electrodes. The sensor's not too bad. So I'm going to pull out a couple more, have a quick look, and we'll go from there. To remove this cover, this one here that sits on top where your oil filler is, the easiest way to do it is to undo, there's an 8mm bolt, on this plate here, just by the brake fluid reservoir. There's another one the other side here. If you remove both of those and the 4 shiny bolts on the back, that will allow you to remove the filter housing, which sits up there. Basically, I'll take that out of the way. This sits on there like that. You've got 4 bolts, remove those, take those out. These filters are absolutely caked. They really should be replaced. but I'll speak to the guy later about that one. Undo those 4 bolts, undo these, and this will allow you to lift this tray up along with, you've got a strengthening bar here, a stability bar. Take the bolt out of that, so it enables you to lift it up, to lift the cover off and slide it backwards. Right, on we investigate. Okay, spark plug out from number 2, completely different. It's predominantly dry. The electrodes are sooty but dry again. This one's been firing reasonably well. So against this one, which came out of number 1, shiny as heck, oil everywhere. Could possibly be a rocker cover gasket, but further investigation. Here we go. Here we have the replacement part, which will be going on. It's a genuine Bosch. It's worth buying the proper bit of kit. So many of them come with, you've got to build your own plug on the end, etc. But this one's got the heat shield on it, and absolutely everything that we need to literally put it in. It's proper plug and play. Nice cup of tea there. Right, the O2 sensor on the 318 is located on the left hand side of the engine, obviously exhaust manifold. This one is before cat. Okay, so I'm going to try and point to it. That's the shiny bit you can just see there, and I've got my socket around it at the moment. Now I've been able to crack it off from this position, which is a bit of a bonus. I'll show you the tool that I used shortly, but I'm going to go underneath the car now and unplug it from the wiring harness and then try to remove it. I needed to remove the floor pan, which you'll see as we go down below. Okay, underneath the car you need to unbolt the floor pan just so it swings down. You don't need to undo the very front bolts that are attached to the bumper. Just let it hang down, and then if you look up directly above it where it joins, you will see the connections for your O2. This piece here sits on a bracket in there which slides off back towards the back of the car, and it allows you to drop it down. Now all I want to do now is separate that, but I need both hands to do it, and then unclip the sensor cable running up to the above the cat and replace it. Can't really show you much more because it's just unbelievably tight. Right, new O2 sensor all coupled up and pressed back in its little bracket. You'll see it there. Put my finger on it. There. It slides out that way as a complete unit. You can pull it down through this gap here and separate the two. That's the harness. This is off to the O2, and you can just about, oh, the sun's shining through the hole. The O2 sensor is in place anyway. You can see the cable running up here into those 2 clips there, and then it rotates round into the just before the cat. We're going to go and tighten it up on top now, and I'll show you the tool I used, which made it relatively easy to remove. Right, this is the O2 sensor tool. Basically pretty standard fitting. You can find them everywhere. They're all 22mm. All O2s are 22mm after I think about 1999 or 2000, something like that. Anyway, my one came with, I've had this one a while, it came in a set of 3. So you've got 3 different options. Sorry, knocking the camera for different lengths, or not so much different lengths, but different angles and fitments. And for example, my little one fits in very cosily into a little ratchet, and I was able to work it literally like as a lever and cracked it off that way. And I'm going to do the same thing now in reverse to tighten it all up again. Let's nip that up and then we can move on with the plugs. Right, sorry, underneath the car, floor pan put back. You've got 9 8mm screws which hold that all in place. So that's all back nice and sound. Now we'll do the O2 sensor nipping up. She's landed. Right, O2 sensor back in place. A little bit fiddly putting it back because you've got to work your ratchet and your angles, obviously, before you start crashing into stuff. But what I did, I got this in situ on top of the O2 sensor, kind of this position, and with a bar on the end of this, I tapped it round a couple of times with a hammer, lifted it off, rotated it back, put it down, tap, 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 off, back, down, tap, 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 and then it locked off somewhere about here, and then I was able to get a couple of turns, lift it up, backwards again on the ratchet with a bit of leverage, just to nip it up nice and tight. So yeah, O2 sensor in, we'll check it out in a little while, just to see what it's doing on the software. Right, I'm installing the new spark plugs. I put number 1, oh sorry, I put number 1 in, just rearranging that camera a bit for you. You push your coil pack in and then your clip goes in like that, and push the 2 down simultaneously and it will snap back in like that. That's number 1. This is number 2. There's your coil pack combined, pop it in, push it home nice and snug, and then lift your plate up like that. That then slides in there, and then the 2 go snap together simultaneously. Number 3, I'll take that bit of tape off I put on there purely to make sure I put them all back in the same holes. Don't like to cross over coil packs. Push it home. That's it. It's a little bit tricky to see what's going on, but again, slide it in together and down. And finally, number 4, which you can see there, that goes in the hole like so. I'm just going to get that the seat in. It's nice and snug. Slide on. Remember, push the 2 together and they clip together beautifully. They're all in. And that spark plugs back. We'll start putting the casings back now. I'll give you more detail on those. Right, here we are putting the rear trim back. That casing's back on. Like I say, you need to remove, lift that bar up, undo that one, lift it, just to get the cover off for your coil packs and plugs, etc. Right, this slots in under there, like that. Just a quick look. This one does the same here, and you've got a little rubber lug on each end, which you'll see, sure enough, which you've got to locate. We've got there's 2 pieces of plastic which you've got to attach, and they basically locate on the 3 tabs sitting directly underneath and push back, and then this one here comes up on top, and when it all sits down again, it's in there, and there, another 3 tabs. A bit fiddly, but you know, it wouldn't be BMW otherwise, would it? 2, 3, push them back in like that. Right, I just need to see, got one missing, one's failed to locate here, that's it, I think, yeah, it's finally locked back. Make sure, like I say, each end's got a little rubber tab that sticks out on the end, tells you that you're there. Okay, so that's your cross member. It's not, it's just a bulkhead thing. That goes in there like that, and then we've got the top piece here, which locates over there and over there. Literally, it just sits there. And in this case, we've got 4 silver screws, 10mm, which go in there like that. And the little black one slots in just on the end plate. That's an 8mm, that one. Same again. Little black one there. Oh, that's not it. Why have I lost the hole? Oh, that's interesting. There's no clip on that one. Don't remember it just sitting there. Still, I shall check that out in a moment. Your 4 silver ones, or your other 2, sorry, 2 on this end, 2 on that end. Can't see, camera's in the way. There you go. Right, we'll nip those up and check out that little clip. Right, the 10mm. Two on the left side. The filter's on this one changing. I've told the client, so. And if we turn you around here, you've got your other 2. Can't see because there's sun, to be honest. There's one there anyway. And the other one just on the right hand side of it. And we've got the 8mm to do. Here on each end. Found the clip. The little clip was sort of slipped off the other side, but it's all good now, he says. Where is it? That one. Can't see it. So take you out of there. Show you better this way. There you go. It's literally just there. On that bottom. Down. And that one there. All you've got to do is plug your sensors back in. Like so. One each side. You've got the bonnet release sensor this side. And the last sensor, which is the bonnet sensor. That just snaps on there like that. Little button there, and then just put these under like that, so that they're captive, free from being able to slide about too much. That's it. Okay, we'll put the covers back on, and that's it for today. I'm going to run it home tonight, see how it performs. You wanted a K&N fitted, which is on there now, and fundamentally that's it for today. So that's O2 sensors done, spark plugs changed. Still got that oil issue to consider. Probably going to go for a manifold gasket, a rocker cover gasket. It's leaking, I think, round the ports of the spark plugs on the inside. So it's probably just O-rings there that have gone. But that's a job for another day. Thanks for watching. Hope you like what you've seen. Any comments, more than welcome. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye for now.